Welcome to the Standing Out in Ohio podcast, where we discuss topics, upcoming events, news, and predictions with real estate professionals and entrepreneurs. Listen and learn what makes their companies and themselves stand out and gain advantages over the competition and gain market share. Subscribe for the latest news and discussion on what it takes to stand out from the crowd. Now, here's your host, Jim.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Standing Out Ohio podcast. This is Jim and Laura.
Hi everyone.
I can say podcast. So
Can you?
yes, I can. So confidentiality and the reports.
Yes.
There's been some issues about this. There's always been issues about this, but we've actually heard some stuff from the state level. Was my guess? More issues, actually
coming.
are coming to the forefront of their minds what's going on with this. But first, let's listen to this.
Habitation investigation is the way to go for a home inspection in Ohio. Trusted licensed home inspectors for your needs, from radon to mold to warranties. For a great home inspection, you really can't go wrong. Visit homeinspectionsinohio.com.
All right. Home inspection licensing started a little bit over 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't do you cannot have the home inspection done unless there's a signed agreement. There has to be a written report, some kind of transaction going on.
Yes.
Okay. And within that, there's a thing about confidentiality as well.
Yes.
There's that in real estate and their ethics, also confidentiality.
Right.
So what we're seeing, this has always been the case, but now it's probably getting
more questionable.
It's more questionable now. Is, say, inspection company does an inspection for home buyer A. Buyer A decides, I'm not going to buy this. It could be their financing dropped out. It could be inspection results. It could be they just had cold feet.
Whatever.
Easily.
They leave.
Does not matter. Listing agent takes the report that was for home buyer A and gives it to a potential home buyer B for buyer B to use that inspection report. That is violating the confidentiality, because in that report, first of all, it was written only for the first home buyer A. It was written for them. They have the right to use that.
Or not.
Well, yeah, they don't have to use it, but they're the only one that has the contractual, recognition with the home buyer or the home inspector. With the new home buyer, if there's an issue with the report, who do they go to?
The agent would be the only person, because there's no contractual agreement with the home inspection company. And that client B has no clue what discussions client A had with the home inspector. There may be something that clarified things in there, or something that was a little more detailed, or maybe what we looked at for client A wasn't complete and client B doesn't know that. So he's looking at that report and relying on that as if it's a complete report, and you don't know what the scope was.
Yeah, because we've had some buyers go, no, don't look at the roof.
I'm an electrician, or I'm a roofer, or, don't worry about those.
Doesn't matter. Or they know the roof's new and they go, don't look at the roof. So that is not going to be on that report.
Right.
Now, probably should be in the report. Hey,
client A
client
said,
declined to have this looked out. That should be in there. But if it's an agreement, or it should be an agreement, or sometimes it's just through email. Hey, I don't want you to just look at the appliances because we have our own.
And we're bringing.
Yes. So that's one issue, is you got a second home buyer who may have issues. Who are they going to go to? They should go against the agent, because the agent
gave
me this thing to rely upon. I cannot rely upon it, or if I do, I have no recourse, because I don't know what the agreement looked like. I don't know what the scope looked like. And at this point, the agent is the one that telling them you can rely on this completely. No. The other issue is the reports. They are the property of the initial client. home buyer A.
And us too, technically.
Yes. So what's happened there is the home buyer B gets that report. That report has the first buyer's name on it. They do not have right to have that. So that's a whole confidentiality thing right there. Plus, if the home buyer B did not get permission or do a home inspection, the seller, did he give him permission to look at the pictures of their house? See what's going on in there? They know the address, they know which house it is. There's a whole list of issues with that.
Well, and client B, if they're relying on that report and then they move in, how many times have we gotten a call from, client B going, hey, I have this report I need to ask you questions about because XYZ. And, we pull it up and we're like, who are you? You're not listed as our clients on that report. Oh, well, they walked, I bought the house after them. And the seller's agent gave them that report. And there are times where we've even suspected that some of the information has been kept off of the report because of questions they've asked. And when we've looked at the report, the whole thing was there. So,
so buyer B may not be getting the full
report
full
with all the
reports.
full issues.
Well, also time has passed.
Right.
So
and things change.
maybe they fixed something, or maybe they
Didn't.
half fixed it or covered it up, and now there's things are exposed. So we've done inspections and the sellers just covered things up. I've seen rotted trim on outside the house, totally filled up with putty, right, or caulking, and
Painted
they're
over
just
to look
and
nice.
they're just trying to cover up, put lipstick on that pig, make it look good, cover it up. But easily another buyer could buy the house, and that stuff takes time to start showing up. And they go, hey, you
Right.
missed this. I'm like, no, we did not. This was covered up. And besides, you're not even our client.
So sorry.
We have no obligation to talk to you. But anyway, that was it the board meeting, or maybe we talked to somebody
I
else?
think it was the last board meeting.
They talked about agents getting in trouble, or is this or somebody else?
Well, they were going through the Ohio Revised Code for home inspections, and they started to touch upon the confidentiality section, and they kind of got into a little bit of a discussion about it and about how there were some concerns, but they had to keep going to get through the rest of the list. So I think that longer discussion got shelved because they were trying to finish that first agenda.
We did hear talk to a broker. There were issues with agents. More agents are getting in trouble with what was that? Was that sharing reports
Yeah.
and waiving inspections?
Waiving it. Well, there's more lawsuits coming across the state of Ohio because of waiving the inspection, and people that did that got into a house and they're like, we can't afford this.
There's too many issues.
There's too many issues that were,
There was an article out nationally, and then I messaged the attorney that was talked about, and he confirmed, that was me. That was my quote. Buyer signing where they waive the inspection is not. It helps, but it is not 100% assurance that you will not be sued. Because he said, well, here's what happened is how does this agent have any right or knowledge to tell the person you don't need to waive the inspection, because there's no what third party verification you have that the house is good
right
for you to waive the inspection. So there's what lawsuits are up 9%, and then the average $39,000 the suit.
The payouts were up 13%.
Yeah, payouts were up.
So
probably because of cost of goods.
Yeah,
makes perfect sense. But
or
more people are being sued.
Like larger items.
More people are being sued. And
yes.
I'm certain there at some point somebody's going to use their inspection report that was not used for them. they find issues, they want to try and sue, they can't. They go, dude, there's no grounds for you to sue any home inspector on this. You are not their client. That's going to get turned over to the real estate agent.
Yes.
Dude, you told me I could rely on this, and I cannot.
You're
the
no
one that told me.
financial recourse.
Yep.
I have no legal recourse except to come back to you because this is what you told me.
So if I was a broker, a real estate broker, I would tell
Shut that
all my agents, do not share a report that was not designed specifically for
That's
that
client.
for that buyer. Now, if we, like for us, if we habitation investigation did an inspection and deal falls through, it doesn't matter why. Another buyer wants to buy that house. If it's within a certain amount of time, gladly go out there and do another home inspection and give them a little bit of a discount.
2 weeks is what we said
2 weeks.
that we would.
Yeah, we can probably go a little bit faster, but anyway, but
It depends. Like if there's storms, like
well, yeah,
we've had
we
some
need to look.
tornadoes and stuff, so we would need to. Yeah.
We need to go back and take a look, but we could do another inspection for the new buyer
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see
with
what
the
you're saying.
agreement. They get a little bit of a discount.
Yep.
Hopefully, we can send the exact same inspector out there because he's familiar. He can probably go through it a little bit quicker because he knows what
what's
to
going
look
on.
for and look for changes. But it has to be a short time.
So
time
within
period.
a month, maybe
I say within a month we
Okay.
can do it. And we'll give them a discount, but that way they actually have
their own report.
recourse and they have access to our warranties that we give for free to the home buyers, where a home buyer B using A's report would never have any coverage from us.
No.
So I think it's about it on confidentiality, but yeah, do not share the reports to somebody who is not the initial client.
No. And at this point,
Do not.
it has just been a discussion. So I tell my guys, I would not want to be the first person that they play that role out on and test it in court. I just wouldn't, because I would hate to be the one they'd make an example of. So it's not worth it.
The only reason it's a discussion in the state is because there's issues regarding
because there's
that.
issues right now.
Yep. That's the only reason they would bring that up.
So heads up, don't do it. Contact us. We'll give you a discount on that second one. And we would happily do that just because we're here to protect people. We're here to protect the clients and the agents that we work with.
Yep. But you know what? Bad agents, to be honest, I don't care. I mean, I care about the client, the person buying the house.
Which is why we'll go back out and do it.
But if somebody, and there's always that 3 to 5% of every type of industry that you shouldn't trust, they shouldn't have their license, they shouldn't be out in public. Those people, I don't care if they get in trouble. I'd be more concerned that they're harming somebody.
Well, and if they're getting in trouble, that's usually what's ended up happening.
Yeah. Well,
So-
remember that there's the home inspector, kind of Toledo area. So Northwest Ohio area. This is talking about the walk and talks.
Oh,
I
okay.
emailed all the inspectors in the state at one point and go, hey, just so you guys know,
Walk
you
and
can
talks
walk
are
and
not.
talks are not, you're not allowed to do those. You never
You've
really
never been allowed to do
ever
that.
since licensing, you were never supposed to do that. And he was like, well, it'll just, if something's missed, it'll just be he said, she said, it'll just be their word against mine. It doesn't matter. He goes, if that doesn't work, this is caveat emptor, buyer beware. Like he didn't
No.
care. He
He
didn't
did
care.
not
He
care
just
at
wanted
all.
to get his little bit of money for that.
Well,
that
honey, his
walk and
business
talk.
was down 75% too. So
I think he was the guy who was down 75%.
Yeah, he
So
was.
if anybody offered to do the walk and talks by any name, they're just desperate.
Pre-listing consultation or a pre-purchase consultation is still a walk and talk. It is still illegal, and you as an agent can still get in trouble for that if you allow that to happen.
Yeah, basically, if you're a home inspector, you should not go to a property unless you have an agreement. Now,
And you're writing a report.
and you're writing the report. Yep, just play it safe. And if you're an agent, do not recommend those things. You will be held liable, and the state is working on that, I believe.
Make sure that everybody that your clients use is licensed and has that number. We do know of other home inspectors that are inspecting and they do not have a license.
Yes, we found that out a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, I was on Indeed looking for inspectors, and you would be amazed at the people that said that they're licensed And it's just a NACHI certification. When you go to pull them up on the state level, they're not licensed.
Yeah, I like
So be
NACHI.
careful.
I like NACHI. It's not
Right,
the same
but
thing
it's
as
not
state
the same
license.
thing. It's state licensed. And if you tell me you're state licensed, I expect to get that OHI dot whatever number.
Yeah.
And there isn't one. They're not licensed actually, but they think they are. So be careful.
Be careful. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Standing Out in Ohio podcast. Be sure to subscribe on Spotify or Google Podcasts to get new, fresh episodes. For more, please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or visit the website of the best Ohio home inspection company at homeinspectionsinohio.com or jimtroth.com. That's JIMTROTH, and click on podcast. Until next time, learn and go do stuff.